I'd like to bring the meeting of the Gibson County Drainage Board, April 7th, 2026, to order. We'll start out with the approval of last month's minutes.
I make the motion to approve the minutes.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Do we have any tabled requests? I don't think we do we? No. Any approved requests? Nothing under old business? Nothing under, do we have new business? Candy has?
I've got it, oh,
Request to cross the regulated drain with utility.
Oh.
it's, I'll tell you which one, I think it's Gibson.
Gibson Water's what it
Yeah.
says here.
But what it is they're wanting to cross the road, it's at the very end of our regulated drain. It's down here and they're wanting to cross right here.
Okay.
So, but they're just wanting to come across the road. And of course, I have them sign the agreement, so.
They have to do a road agreement also with the highway
Yes,
department?
that's included in
Okay.
this, so,
Right.
but I was just checking to make sure,
Yeah.
you guys are okay with it. They're going to this little patch over here, but they just need to bore underneath, and I made that clear to them,
Yeah.
so.
As long as
That's
they
the problem.
follow our protocol and everything, then,
Right.
Take a motion?
I will entertain a motion to approve the request for Gibson Water to cross a regulated drain.
I'll make that motion.
I second it.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Discussion items, Scott. Tree removal from Miller.
Yes, this is a project there we had on the agenda. The water's been up. So this is over on near, I think it's 800 East or 850 East. It's near the Pike Line,
Okay.
just north of the Patoka River boat ramp area.
Right.
We've got a regulated drain that runs up through there, and we did quite a bit of spraying on that. I don't know, it's probably been 4 years ago or so. We got a lot of dead trees to get out of there. I think the contractor's really just been waiting for the water to go down to find the right time to get in there. So that's still a current project.
Okay.
I know, we'll just keep you updated on that.
I
I
guess
don't want to
that-
keep you updated on that as well, because
Right.
that is, there are a lot of bird watchers in that area. That's
Oh, yeah.
that's a kind of a, I think that's U.S. Fish and Wildlife ground there, so we get a lot of people on that road. But I have communicated with the Fish and Wildlife representative that takes care of that area, Heath Hamilton, and let him know what we were doing. So that usually helps too, because a lot of times I'll contact him if we go in and
Right.
work on our ditch, so.
And I assume with the trees already down, we don't have to worry about the bat
Right.
issue, the
Right.
dates for the bats.
It's just, yeah, it's
Okay.
just,
Then you just put them, get them out of the ditch and leave them.
yeah.
They're-
Leave
they
them
don't have to
in
go
deep
out.
piles, yeah.
Okay.
They've done some clearing on a private ditch, and I think that's what they did with their trees. They kind of pushed them up against a wood tree line there, so
Okay,
that's what we're gonna do.
sounds good. Then you got maintenance on the Donahue lateral to the Claymire.
Okay, yes, and this is actually, completed. No, this one isn't completed, so, this is the Donahue. So, yeah, this is an area here just east of 1025 east and north of 700 south on the Donahue lateral. We've got, just got a couple of places that the ditch was sloughing off, and I've got some pictures here I can show you. It's kind of hard to see, but we're losing quite a bit of the bank there. And I thought that if we went in and shaped the bank up and put some seed down, we might be able to, might be our best bet.
That's a good picture.
It appears that this side of it, the farmers have left a nice grassy strip.
Yes, yeah.
But the other side, not so much.
Not so much. And I don't think there's anything that I know of that we can make them do that, but I met the landowner out there and did point that out to him, and he said that he's going to have his, I think he rents that ground out. He mentioned that he
Talking
was
to
gonna
his-
talk to the farmer.
I'd say it would
to-
behoove him because
Yeah.
he's losing property.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And if I look back on our aerial images, back to like 2014-ish, there was this buffer on both sides, about a 20-foot grass buffer. And then once you know, when they start planting right up to the edge of the ditches,
Right.
it seems like we get this sloughing.
Right.
And you can see this other side, it's pretty solid.
So if that landowner is interested in doing a filter strip, we would keep the farmer off that bank, and he is in a pigeon drainage, we have funds to help
Okay.
that landowner put that in.
Yeah,
And we would pay 50% of the project.
okay.
Ish, maybe, I have to look at the numbers, but we got money.
In contact
But it
with
has
soil and
to
water?
be pigeon drainage,
Okay.
and that is, right?
That is the claim miner, yes, it's Pigeon Creek. And the name of the farmer is Terry Schumacher. Yeah.
That's the farmer or the landowner?
That's the
No, I mean
landowner.
landowner.
I'm sorry, I said farmer, but I meant landowner. And the landowner is the one who had to contact you,
Either one.
either one? Okay.
Whoever wants to put
half the bill,
Yeah.
they pay for half of it.
Okay, that might kind of entice them, I know.
So the landowner might have to pay for half and the farmer put it in for the landowner. Is the landowner
Sure.
present or remote? You know, is he living
He's
here?
present, he lives right there,
Yeah,
so
so we do have funds available for pigeon drainage to do it and filter strip.
I'll relay that information to the landowner, certainly, yeah.
Good deal.
I don't know if you saw those pictures.
Yeah, I saw, I got my glasses on today.
Picture of that? I know where I'm at.
And we got several completed projects here, the maintenance on Miller Creek lateral to the Clay Mire.
Yeah, that's done. So a lot of these projects, if you remember last month, they were up on the current project. So did quite a few of these smaller projects done. This is just southeast of the intersection of 168 and Interstate 69. We've got Miller's Creek, which is different than Miller
Right.
that we were talking about earlier.
Millers and Miller.
This is Miller's Creek lateral. It's part of Upper Pigeon Creek. So we had, I can show you what we had here. We had a tree sticking out in the middle of the ditch. Not a big project, but we did get some of that cleaned up and
Okay.
some of the brush cleaned up off of that. So
yeah.
that's an after picture.
Okay.
Got a neat pile there. I think there may be another neat pile, but I know there's at least one there. So.
Okay. And then trees removed from the coal mire to Muddy Fork to the Stunkel.
Yeah, and this is Colmar, this is really the upper end of a lateral to the Muddy Fork, which is a lateral to Stunk.
Yeah.
Which is a lateral to
Yeah,
the,
yeah,
which is a
yeah.
lateral.
This is the very upper end of one of the smaller laterals, but it's really pinched off. It's been needing work for a long time. And this is kind of before pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Got quite a bit of brush on it, it was pinched off. We've kind of had this kind of in the hopper for a while, and
Oh, yeah.
we went in, really after taking these trees out, I think that's just gonna open the ditch up.
Oh, yeah.
Boring pretty good.
Right.
So that's all we did at the moment. And we'll keep an eye on that, of course, just to make
Right.
sure that resolved any issues he had right there.
Right.
So,
And beavers and trees from the clay mire.
yeah, and this is, was on Ron Cromer.
Okay.
We had reports of beavers in here, so we sent our nuisance trapper in, and then he trapped some beavers for us, and then we went in, while we were there. This is what remained of the beaver dam.
Right.
I think our nuisance trapper we're using now usually likes to pull a hole in the dam, but this one right here, it was a lot of mud and stuff. It needed to kind of come out of the bottom there.
Yeah.
So this is before. And we cleaned some of the banks up while we were out there, you know, in that area. Then this is after. Got a neat pile of brush there. And beaver dam's pretty much gone. And then kind of cleaned up some of the banks there.
Okay, good. Oh, and then the hurricane, that's right there north of 68, east of Hobstadt, where you had the sloughing problem and you reshaped the bank, I saw.
Yes.
Yeah, and then I think you had mentioned you were possibly gonna do some seeding down there.
Yes.
That was the hurricane at the highway?
It's just,
Yes.
just north of 68,
Yeah, just west of Bagel's place.
yes,
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and that you can see from 68.
right.
So
I drive by
a lot of
it
people
every day.
see that. You know, and something that comes up is, you know, why didn't they do anything to the side that's sloughing off? Well, we have found, and Julie probably attests to this, a lot of times that, you know, it'll fix itself once you fix the, you know, a bar or berm that's all of a sudden created the water to kind of turn and hit the other side. So that's what we went in and actually worked on the west side of that.
Right.
And tried to straighten it out. So hopefully that fixes itself, and then, yeah, we're gonna, we have not seeded that yet, but we plan on putting some seed down on that. And then,
Yeah.
Yep.
that's what it looks like now.
Okay.
And then the tubes at Fort Branch Beaver Dam, that was north of Coal Mine Road behind the old MG packing facility, correct?
Yes, there were two beaver dams back there, actually. And they're both out now.
Okay.
So, and there is some video of that. The contractor who did that, was the same contractor that did the
Right.
tubes project for us there, south of Coal Mine Road. So,
Yeah, I saw the
Yeah.
drone footage he
yeah,
had of the
if
south
you wanna
project.
take a look at that, he's got some
Really
really good drone footage of
Yeah.
those, taking those two beaver
How
dams
close
on
to
there.
get beavers on the side of Fort Orange? There's no
Yeah.
trees up there.
I don't know.
No,
where
there's
they
not.
Getting stuff to pull in there, but,
Yeah.
right behind, just west of the old Emmy's plant, there's a little pond there,
Yeah.
right beside our ditch.
Yeah.
It seemed like they were kind of, I don't
Well,
know
what they
that
do,
much.
swim up the tubes from the river or something?
Migrate.
I don't know.
No, you think they did, they just came up the upstream till they found that happy spot and stayed there?
Yeah,
I think they found a happy spot when they found that
Good, right.
pond, but yes, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. So.
Okay, I don't see anything else on the agenda. Is there anything else, or?
how's that ditch doing out there on Coal Mine Road? After we've had some rain and stuff, it's made all after they completed that project out there at the water, at the plant. How, you know, you got to look at that very much, or?
It's better. We haven't had an act of God big enough yet to make it go over Coal Mine Road. It's gonna help. There are still, I know I've talked with Matt, we have one driveway that we know of that is a choke point that causes a lot of problems. That we're looking at whether we can do some kind of co-op project with it's actually two driveways together, so it's super long,
Right.
which actually makes the pipe airlock somewhat. So we're looking at possibly doing some kind of co-op project where if the homeowners buy the pipe, the county installs them kind of deal to alleviate that choke point.
You think they're gonna do it?
I think they will, yeah.
They realize it's a problem.
And we are gonna have situations, I mean, you know, it's a floodplain. You get just east of the Pigeon Creek Bridge there, and the water will fill up all the way to where it starts going up the hill into Fort Branch. There's really nothing that can ever be done about that, but every little thing we do
Right.
helps for especially the kids, you know, back and forth to
Yeah.
Gibson Southern.
So that gets seeded too?
Yes, that was part of his project,
Did it
yes.
get seeded?
John seeded that.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
And the farmers, I've talked to Ziliak's farm on the west side, they were very happy. You know, while he was up there, he did a few little piddly things they needed done. You know, he was moving dirt anyway, and they're very happy, so,
I haven't heard anything negative about it. I think it
Yeah.
looks great.
yeah, it does.
I've seen it, but, yeah, I haven't heard anything,
Yeah, so nope, I think it's all good.
good.
Another thing I wanted to mention, we had a, meeting, I think last month, met with, the, Kenley Corn. They did the design work for the reclamation solar project, the drainage plan.
Okay,
And they met Lyle and I here, kind of an informal meeting, just to talk about a possible resubmittal. They had done a little bit of redesign to their solar array, which affects the drainage plan. So, so just kind of a heads up, you might see them on the agenda. I think they've asked to be on the agenda next month to introduce or, you know, bring it to you, that they are resubmitting. They've already had their original drainage plan approved.
right,
Yeah.
But since they're adding some arrays, and I may not be saying this correctly, but that's the way I
Changing
understood
the
it. They're
array.
Changing, some changes, have caused them to change their drainage plan, which then, that means they come back to us. So one thing I mentioned there with that is that's all pretty new to us. You know, that's a pretty new ordinance. We got a fee schedule with that.
Right.
That's something that, maybe, I don't know if, you know, we could have Jason look into. I mean, my question when it comes to that is would they, and I don't know the ordinance that well myself, is what kind of fee is involved with a resubmittal like that?
This would be a first one, and
You know, that would be the first.
in my mind,
That's all kind of-
it's a new submittal, so they pay the fee. That would be how I would
It might
interpret.
be something to think about. I don't know if we need to be ready for that question, but that might be something, I think that might be something that comes up that we want to maybe address.
We'll have a discussion, but in my mind, if they change the drainage plan, then it's a new drainage plan, and the fee schedule would,
Would apply.
Still be in
would apply
effect.
Over again, really, or?
yeah,
I don't know.
and that's,
I don't know.
Yeah,
it
let me
may-
look at it, and,
Yeah.
seems, I mean, it's a lot of legwork on our end, a lot of expenses exposing us to, so.
yeah.
I'll look at the ordinance and, make sure that that's consistent. I would say that position would be consistent with the ordinance, but let me just make sure.
That's the only thing I could think of that we may need to look into. I don't think they've gotten anything to Lyle Maringer yet,
Right,
so.
and everything will be subject to our normal procedure where
Right.
he reviews and approves and all of that stuff, so, yeah,
and overseas as well.
right,
I think that worked good on the last one, having been able to have somebody oversee that.
right,
Went out there whenever he was at the final of the project, the last project, and
right.
he was definitely on him. Lyle was
Oh, yeah.
very thorough, he did not play around at all.
I definitely,
I like it.
glad we ended up doing that.
Yeah,
And more when I went out there, that was kind of nice to see too. I know it's something else actually that, was talked about, is our ordinance requires, or actually not the ordinance, but our specification requires an exclusive easement for access to our detention ponds to the county. And the topic come up that, you know, if that's an exclusive easement, meaning, you know, it's just for storm access for those stormwater drainage detention ponds, they would have to kind of cut their solar field up. I reached out to a couple counties. One county got back with me and said that their easements are generally more like utility easements. So they do want other, so maybe it's on a road, it may have electric lines, it may have water lines. It's not exclusive to drainage. So that's something to think about. They may be asking about. They also ask, I know when me and Orville went out there, it was kind of a big deal just to get on the site to see the detention ponds because they're inside that So, I don't know what that means if we're, wanting to see if we're getting reports that our drainage ponds in 20 years are grown up and we want to get in there and see it. I don't know if that, if that's an easement, if that maybe if they want some kind of agreement that upon request, because
Good idea.
it looks to me like we're gonna have to be escorted to see those or, inspect those in the future anyway. So that may be something to kind of look for, as a request from the solar
Yeah.
design.
That, I mean, that would be no different than if you requested to go into Toyota or into Duke Energy or something to
Yeah, or
see
us.
something, you're gonna have to follow their protocols
Oh,
and
yeah.
safety regulations, so,
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
come
if
to our
you
plant.
go in his plant, you're
Yeah.
not just gonna go tromping around.
You gotta have FRs on and everything.
They have to provide, I mean, they have to allow us access.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that
But-
may be,
Yeah.
something where,
Right.
maybe it's not an easement, maybe some kind of agreement that upon request of the drainage board or something, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would, that come up, and the best I got from one of the counties that has a similar, ordinance and specifications as us, is that, their ordinance doesn't require an exclusive easement, so.
Okay.
That's just some of the things that we discussed.
Maybe just some kind of language stating accessibility for,
Yeah.
inspection and recommendations for maintenance or something along those lines.
Seems reasonable.
Okay.
That's all I had, so.
Anybody have anything else? Julie, Stephanie, your husband?
Like I said to the commissioners, there will be that watershed management plan coming, and EPA just gave the money to IDAM, so between now and January, February next year, that should be awarded to Gibson, and we start on that watershed management plan for the copy by Scott Dick.
Okay, good.
That will be
Stephanie,
over there.
has your husband burned anything down with his flamethrower? No? Okay. Anything else? I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Chuck said that students don't have.
Huh?
Eggers are on Facebook selling them for $35 a piece now.
35.